Now, more now on what it's like leading a church service without a congregation in front of you. Dan Beasley is Vicar of St James in Bearton Aylesbury. He has a passion for seeing both individuals and the church engage online and reach new people in a great way. Well, let's say good morning to Dan right now. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good morning.
Good morning to you. So tell us, first of all, the kind of service that you did online last weekend, because I guess, you've got to adapt it in some way because it's going out online.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's very different to what you're expecting when you become a vicar, to suddenly have no congregation in front of you and then to just basically have a camera to record a service, knowing that you're going to put content out into people's home and be church in a really different way. So the services were me in front of a camera, knowing that my congregation is spread out all over Aylesbury in homes.
Is it weird being in front of the camera like that? Did it feel strange?
Well, I got a YouTube channel, so for me it wasn't strange to do it. But what was strange this week doing this service was I did it in my back garden for one of them, and another one in my office, and that was when it hit home. It was really strange. Okay,
and I understand you have two services, one traditional and one contemporary. Was that the change of location? Was that what that was about, or what?
Well, no, because we're not allowed to go into, as you said before, we're not allowed to go into our churches even for private prayer anymore. Sure. So, where last week I recorded in the church, this week I wanted to record somewhere else. So I recorded we have a traditional service, and I recorded that in my back garden, which is great. But then it got cold and a bit windy, so I moved the second service into my office.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been that good, with the wind hitting the microphone, and you're trying to get a service across so people can hear. And it's strange in my office because that's where I usually record. So to do that now and I'm doing a service that's when it was really strange, trying to do something that you normally do in church in your office was.
Are you able to put music into these services at all? How does that work?
It's really difficult because you got this whole copyright law, and as Christians you don't want to start infringing on copyright law. It's not a real good witness. So I find that what I've chosen to do is not to put music in. So even though hymns, they say they're out of copyright, some of them are kind of copyrighted by the artist who's re-performed them. So I've moved the Sun Communion that we would have usually had in church to a said communion, and that makes it a lot easier. And then the contemporary service that we have, I've got a good friend over in the States who's a Christian artist, and I asked him, could I use your music? And he said, yes, absolutely. So I put a couple of videos of his in that helped.
I was just thinking about this, and I know that you run your YouTube channel as well, so you're very much kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to this. But there'll be a lot who maybe haven't tried this before. And how important is it for them to kind of get this right and, in a sense, to be more contemporary? Because, we're often hearing arguments about how Christianity can become more relevant. And actually, by doing things online, that would seem like an obvious route. Obviously not through these circumstances, but in a sense, there's a chance for people to maybe refresh things and make sure their services are potentially less traditional. What do you think about that?
Well, it's interesting because the traditional services, like the attendance at cathedrals going up, and a lot of people like traditional services. Mm-hmm. And so I know in the States, I got a following in the States, and they love the traditional services. I think I get more views from that one because that's kind of something they love. So actually, I think what it is about doing it well. Both the contemporary service that we have, which we got a lot of families at, and the traditional service is about doing it really well, and then thinking about how we use the cameras. We got great angles. If we got one camera, we put it in a place that doesn't really obscures part of the service when people move away. Can we do our service differently so it can all go in one camera angle? What about the sound? Is the sound really good? Because that's something that people kind of switch off at.
Of course.
And also, like they said, communion. The first thing that you do when you come into a traditional service, you get given an order of service. then we switch it online, and then we don't put the words up. So
Yes.
it's a very interactive service, and so it's like put the words up as well. And a lot of them who like that like to follow the words and like the responses. So it's about don't just. Well, first of all, at the moment, let's just do it. Let's get online.
Yes, exactly. But this is all great advice for anyone who's listening, who's contemplating how to go about doing this. And I guess the hard thing for you is that you can't look into the eyes of your congregation, and it's all about connection. But I guess feedback then becomes important. And have you had great feedback? Are people saying they're enjoying what you're doing?
Yeah, the feedback's really good. It's really nice knowing, because we're all isolated at the moment, that when you're putting on a service, that people who traditionally come to church, whether it's at my church at St. James or other people are watching the channel, that they feel that they are still coming together as a worshipping community, that the videos are enabling them to worship God, so they don't feel so isolated. They actually feel connected to their brothers and sisters that they would usually see through this new media. And for a lot of them as well, this is the first time they're watching stuff online like this as well. So it's a big step for them.
All right, listen, let's get the details of how people can tune into your service, Dan. Tell us what they need to do.
So if you want to search, I put it on my YouTube channel, so you can search for me, Dan Beasley, Beasley on YouTube or Google, and go to St. James, search for St. James in Beaton, and links be on our website as well.
Dan, thank you very much. A pleasure talking to you, and good luck with it. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Bye-bye. That's Dan Beasley, Vicar at St. James in Beaton, Aylesbury, telling us about his unique online service. He sounds like he's got it all sorted. Fantastic.